Hello, Potato, and welcome to Just Add Water Wednesday, part 3 of Self-Heating September, where today, from Sichuan Foods, at least I think that's what the manufacturer's name is, we're going to have ourselves some Sichuan Instant Barbecue. It surprisingly, on the front it looks like there's meat in it, but it doesn't seem to actually be. It seems like it's going to be tofu, which is fine. I don't hate myself a little tofu every once in a while. But instructions. Loosely pour ingredients into upper layer box. Tear off oil bags and pour them on the ingredients evenly. Tear plastic package self-heating bag and put it into the lower layer. Add cold water. Caution, hot water is avoided to submerge the self-heating bag. Put the upper layer into the box. After 10 to 15 minutes, add appropriate amount of seasoning powder according to your personal taste and enjoy. Add when eating for best taste. So you just pour it like directly into your mouth. So this is going to have in it our self-heating Just Add Water favorites here. We've got potato, we got lotus root, we got bamboo shoots, we've got kelp. We also have agaric, konjac powder, which I believe that is the stuff in those miracle noodles I tried a couple years back that were in no way to be confused with proper like gluten-based noodles. Tofu bag, we have dry tofu, salt, vegetable oil, soybean protein. Got some MSG in there, of course. The sauce packet is oil, chili, bean paste, black bean sauce, pickled ginger, garlic, sesame salt. Sesame, salt, sugar, spices, MSG, potassium sorbate. So that actually sounds like it should be quite good. Also, the seasoning powder is chili powder, cumin powder, and of course, salt. Now, as much as you've seen salt in like literally every packet here, this actually is only 370 calories for the whole thing. So about half of what the last two were. And even better, it's only 93% of your daily sodium. Now, that may sound like a lot, and by God it is, but if you recall, parts 1 and 2 were over 200% of your daily sodium for one serving. So this is still by no joking standard even healthy. It is certainly a lot less bad for you than those last two were. Yeah, Food USA Incorporated, manufacturer Sichuan Food LLC. So what all do we have in here? Because this one's a little bit different. The other two were kind of similar to each other. This one, no noodles either. So that's interesting. The other two have both had, well, other three if you count the original 500 subscriber special Heidi Lau hot pot. But what else do we have in here? Oh, well, we have a foil tray instead of plastic. And that foil tray has seen better days. This did not make the trip from China super well, but I think we'll be okay. So we have our oil packet, we have our seasoning packet. That stuff I think we'll put on last. This feels like maybe the tofu? No, this is the veg, because I see the tofu right over there. We have chopsticks, but no spoon, so we'll need to grab a spoon while cooking. A very, very, very small package of tofu. So, I guess that could be the tofu kind of flattened out into like a meat kind of although that's not what the picture shows. It shows like little squares. So what is this? Because this looks like meat. I don't think there's going to be anything in here that remotely resembles this picture, but remember that picture, because we'll be trying to recreate it in the next 15 minutes here. And of course, we've got our heating bag. And by now, I'm starting to recognize what I believe is the Chinese words for fill line. So that's our fill line. So let's, all right, so let's put everything in here. So we need to put in our ingredients, which would be our tofu and our veg. And is there a tear spot? There's not a tear spot. So we'll just have to make our own. All right. Let's check out the veg here. At least I don't think there's any mushrooms listed on this one, so that's a plus. Not a big fan of the mushrooms, although I have to say that looks like mushroom. Is that the... Oh, duh, agaric. Agaric is a mushroom, isn't it? Oh. So we're not escaping mushrooms this time either. I mean, it's a personal taste. It's if you like mushrooms, you're not wrong. You're just not right. Oop, piece of potato there. All right. That's probably the best we're going to get out of there. So let's put together our chopsticks so we can manipulate stuff around here a little bit. I don't just stick my hands in it. Who knows where these hands have been. All right, so these are a little different than the ones we've had previously. We'll talk about last time we didn't have chopsticks, we had a fork and a spoon. But the Haidilao ones came with chopsticks. All right. These feel a little more flexible than the Haidilao ones. Not bad. All right, so let's... So yeah, that would be our agaric there. Got some potato, got lotus root, got... There's some bamboo shoot. Not a lot of kelp. I would have liked to see more kelp. I'm assuming this is the kelp, the green stuff. Seems like it should be the kelp. Because there's no spoon because there's no pasta or no noodles. And that, I think, is the konjac. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's exactly what that is. That feels just like those miracle noodles. How's the lotus fruit here? Not super crunchy, but not bad. Well, let's add in our tofu. See, that at least has a tear spot on it. It says dried tofu, but it actually looks a little oily. Yeah, just get 2 little pieces of tofu. You know, I didn't feel they were overly generous with the cod last time, but they've shown me here that you can do less with less. All right, I really hope this is this gonna hold in here. And it seems okay. I just really don't feel super comfortable about this foil pan compared to the plastic ones we've had in the first 2 parts of self-heating Spetmber. Let's add our oil. So how much water do I put in? Did this even say to add water? It is barbecue. Am I just cooking it in the oil? Hold on. Let me read these instructions again because I don't want to screw this up. You know, another thing in this picture, I just realized looking at the instructions again, it looks like asparagus or something. This is clearly not a picture of the product. This looks nothing. I mean, there might be some tofu right there, but it looks nothing like. So yeah, we don't add water to this. So I brought out a glass of drinking water for that, but it's not a soup, is it? It's a barbecue. So all I need is my glass of cooking water. I'm glad I realized that before I started pouring stuff in. So it makes a little more sense because there's not going to be as much weight in here because we're not adding in water into the foil pan. It also smells like it's foil because the metal's supposed to get hot and fry. So this actually could be quite interesting to me. I don't know how interesting it is to you. You're still watching, so I guess it's not totally not interesting to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be here. Let's get everything in our spicy oil here. Get that, how red that is. This is very similar, I think, to the hot and spicy Haidilao, in that because it had big chunks of peppers in it too. And I'm not going to get all of that out of there, I don't think. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to sit here for 10 minutes trying to do it. Because your time is valuable. I mean, you have enough to waste that you're watching this, but I respect your time at least a little bit. All right, so we've got our oil in there. Kind of just get it to coat the bottom of the pan a little bit. I mean, there's going to be some steaming because the lid's going to trap the steam from our cooking. So it's going to have some steaming done to it. And of course, we save the powder package to the end to add while eating. So let's put in our cooking water. I'll just save the drinking water, I guess, maybe to drink, or I'll water the plants, or I'll just pour it on the table like I did the cooking water. You don't really use a lot of water in these. And it does cook off most of it. So let me clean up my mess here real quick. That's something this one didn't come with, is even a single underwhelming napkin. Of course, I don't think last week's did either. I think just the Heidi Laus came with napkins. I don't think last week's did either. All right, now I've mopped up a bit. Let's do the part that might be exciting. Putting in the heating packet. Heating bag, no eating, prohibit wet hands, keep away from fire, no use in confined space. Sorry, no use in the confined space. Prohibit hot water, beware of scald. I wonder what happens if you put it in hot water. Maybe one day we'll see if we can just get one of these packets on its own and put it in hot water and see what happens. Will it make it too hot? Will it not function at all? So our packet, as you can see, nice and clean and white. No oil for my fingers this time. And quite thick. It's quite like thick cotton or something on it. All right, let's drop it in and wait for it to start to... It's hydrating. It's sinking. Is it puffing up? I think it's puffing up. Yeah, I think we're going. Just wait for it and then I'll drop this on. Yep, there it goes. Now look, you can see it puffing up as it rises up from the water. All right, putting it on. And you can hear it. You can see the steam. Let's put on the lid. All right, so it says let this go for 15 minutes. We're going to give our old timer here, well, it says 10 to 15. We're going to go the whole 15 and give our little timer here another chance to maybe work, because it didn't work last week. But it's ticking now. So I can hear the water bubbling in there. I don't know if you can hear it. And the timer just stopped. It doesn't look like laying flat. I think it's our problem. I have nothing here to prop it up with. It's a mistake on my part. But anyway, so I will keep track of the time if nothing else. I'll keep track of the time if nothing else, and we will be back here in 15 minutes. So even though the timer has failed us once again, you can go sit over here and think about what you've done or haven't done. Oh good, now it starts working again. It has actually been 15 minutes, and it seems to have pretty much calmed down. It was sizzling and boiling nicely most of that time. Still see some steam come out the top there. I squeeze on it, and it is actually very, very hot to the touch. Let's see if we can't get it to, oh, don't put your hand over the steam vent. All right, it says beware, it says beware to scald on it, so there we go. And there is our finished barbecue. Our Sichuan barbecue looks about the same as it did when it went in, but it should be all nice and hot now. Yep, it is definitely nice and hot now. Certainly looks absolutely nothing like the picture on the box. So there's what they kind of implied we'd be getting, and here's what we've actually got. Yeah, nothing looks like that. Nothing looks like that. That could be the tofu, maybe. The only green stuff in here is the kelp, and it certainly isn't that color green. And it looks like stalks. It could be spring onion or asparagus. So, definitely disappointed by the complete lack of any resemblance to the picture. However, it does smell very good. So, ooh, the agaric's gotten kind of poofy. We'll try that last. I did go ahead and grab a spoon just to make it a little easier. Let's try a little. I think that's kelp first. No, it's got some of the sauce on it there too. Oh, the seasoning. I didn't put on the seasoning. Let's put on the seasoning packet. Totally forgot the powder packet here. Now it says to season while you eat, so we'll just put a little bit on, I think, just to start with, and see what we think of it. All right, it's like a third of the packet. Let's try some kelp. Here we go. You can feel the spice in my throat, but I'm not sure how much of that is the food, how much of that's the seasoning there. Let's try a little piece of I think potato here with some of the red oil on it. Yeah, not really getting any heat out of that oil. So I think our heat might be mostly our seasoning packet here. Let's try some lotus root. Yeah, there's not a lot of flavor. I mean, I think I got some of the powder on that, but without that powder, yeah, there's not really much going on here at all. Yeah, it's basically a hot piece of potato. So it seems like the chili oil here isn't even really doing much. Just even get a piece of it with like some chili on it. There's a little heat there on my tongue and the back of it, but like I said, I'm really surprised. I really thought this was going to be quite spicy, and it's really not. I'm a little disappointed in that. I thought this would be a lot spicier than it is. Let's try a piece of the tofu, since we've only got a little in here. I said this one, I had hopes for that. This one's kind of like been the most disappointing so far, though. Tofu is fine. Definitely need that seasoning packet, though. Because yeah, these chilies aren't bringing a lot of heat at all. I'm very surprised with how much. That's a Garrick. We don't want that. Surprised at how much chili is in this. They really aren't bringing a lot of heat. Yeah, the seasoning packet here is definitely your friend for some flavor. I'm sure it's probably where a lot of the sodium is too, but this is a surprisingly bland thing compared to the other two. I mean, the other two were soups, and that I'm sure has something to do with it. But yeah, this isn't like particularly spicy to speak of. Let's try some of the konjac. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. It has that weird jelly texture. But it's not bad. I mean, I definitely like it better than I've liked any of the mushroom stuff, which I suppose I should try. There's a small piece. That's a reasonably small piece. I think that's the agaric or agaric. I've only ever seen it in role-playing games. No flavor to speak of. But I've got a very slimy kind of jelly texture to it that's not, I wouldn't call it pleasant. So I mean, overall, this is fine. I'm certainly going to finish eating it. But I was kind of expecting more. I was certainly expecting more heat, more flavor. Yeah, that flavor packet is definitely your friend if you want to taste anything. And it's weird because it had a really strong smell while it was cooking it. And it smells quite good, but I guess it cooks all that smell away Takes the flavor with it. But it's not bad. It's I kind of thought this could potentially be like the breakout best of the month, but right now it's in last place, third place out of 3. We'll see what next week's does. But before you finish up here, let's take a look at the heat packet. See, it's still nice and steamy, puffed up. Still a bit of water down there, so I guess I think more water than we've had in the last couple left over. You can't see it, it's too far from the camera. There we go. Yeah, a decent amount of water there, but you know, that can help keep your food a little warm while you eat it. And which is what I'm going to go and do now. This is actually my lunch, so I'm going to go finish my lunch here. Even if it's not bad. It's just not what I had hoped for. And of course, even the most generous person isn't going to say it looks anything like that. Nope, not even similar. But it was a new thing. We've tried a new thing. We've learned things. We've learned not necessarily to get the Sichuan Instant Barbecue again, because it doesn't look anything like the box. And it surprisingly lacks flavor. But if you found this at all interesting or entertaining, if you did, go ahead, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.